All right, come on in. What would you...
Well, we'll have...
The...
d- Oh, don't worry.
Well, then I'll start making...
Thank you. No, I've thought about it. She deserves a day off. Yeah, Grandpa said to never be stingy when it comes to... Then eat... Well, to be more Yanqing mentioned, so I've always been... Serious? Yeah. So, it really is a baseball bat. Grandpa said that a sword doesn't have to be constrained by its shape. So, in a sense, your bat is a sword too. He also said that a weapon mimics its master. So, your bat actually reflects your habits and nature, you know? Let me guess. You're someone who doesn't follow the rules, enjoys improvising, and can handle yourself well against tough foes. Am I right? Amazing, right? And I bet you always say something silly like, rules are made to be broken. I've come across so many sword wielders who acted all righteous and moral, but were really just liars. Their swords always told the truth, though. They told me that their wielders were just a bunch of frauds who relied on their divine weapons for everything. I've hunted down hundreds of swords like this so far, and every single one of them has been melted down. Yes, but only for those who cross the line. Melting their swords is my way of protecting those weapons. But just looking at a sword is not enough. Grandpa always says, words and expressions can be deceiving, but in a fight to the death, a sword's movements never lie. The war dance is just around the corner. You'll be participating, right?
Miss Yoon Lee, for talented sword masters like you, the war dance is a perfect opportunity to show off your skills and make a name for yourself. But for people like him, who have already made significant contributions to the Xianzhou, they maybe don't need to prove themselves on the war dance stage. It has been a while, Mr. Nameless.
And you are?
Thank you for your introduction, Mr. Nameless. I'm Shi Kuei, and I work in the Palace of Astrum as the secretary for the Hellmaster. I apologize for interrupting your conversation. I happened to hear you discussing the war dance. And since this person is an old acquaintance, I thought I'd come and say hello. Yes, with the war dance approaching, many guests from afar are pouring in. Mr. Pavo here is one of them. He's from the distant planet Kalevala. Mr. Pavo's planet recently joined the Pan-Cosmic Trade System. He brought his delegation here this time, not only for business, but also to return something that belongs to the Xianzhou.
Miss Shikui, the word gift is perhaps more fitting than return. While it did once belong to the Xianzhou, we faced many tribulations to be able to deliver it here, so it should be considered a gift.
I apologize for my poor choice of words. Mr. Pavo's delegation brought a legendary Xianzhou sword that had been lost for centuries. General Huayan plans to personally thank them at the Palace of Astrum and present the sword as a prize to the champion of the war dance. Mr. Pavo and I were actually on our way there. Since you two were talking so enthusiastically about the war dance, maybe you'd be interested in joining us at the Palace of Astrum?
Nice to meet you both. The journey to the Xianzhou Luofu wasn't an easy one, but the scenery here is worth it. It's completely different from my homeland. Once the formalities at the Palace of Astrum are finished, I'll find a quiet spot on this street and plant a seedling, and then my mission will be complete. The Sword of Heroes will finally be returned to its rightful owners. I couldn't be happier. Oh, you're interested in my home planet? That's great. Your Excellency is welcome to visit us at any time. Even though the trade route just opened, it still might take around 200 system hours to get there from Pier Point. But our planet is really great. Sure, it's a bit cold and the food is a bit repetitive and our houses aren't as fancy as those on Pier Point, but that doesn't matter. We've discovered massive supernium deposits, and we're on the path to prosperity. Oh, you mean the Mieka Kivesa? It's an incredible sword. That weapon helped the legendary heroes of my homeland slay demons, and is highly revered. It also has the power to choose monarchs. All the ancient kings of Kalevala received a sign from the sword, showing they were worthy to rule the land. According to tradition, each monarch would plunge the sword into a stone, and only a hero recognized by the sword could pull it out and ascend to the throne next. Well, those are just legends from the past. No one today has witnessed it firsthand. Well, times have changed, and now that we have a council in place, the idea of a sword crowning a king has become a joke. Besides, it wasn't a native of Kalevala who last pulled out the sword and recognized its connection to the Xianzhou ship. It was a visitor from afar. While the sword holds great historical significance for Kalevala, it doesn't truly belong to our world. The old-timers on council had a heated debate about whether to return the sword. They eventually unanimously agreed to let the Mieka Kivesa return to where it truly belongs. That's the best possible outcome. Wonderful. It's an honor to have so many people witness Sword's homecoming.
Let's head to the Palace of Astrum together. Hmm? I know, right? Thanks to March 7th skipping class, we get to join in on the fun. Grandpa always asks me to go look at swords with him, but he hasn't said anything about this one. It's really weird. But now that we're invited, let's go and check it out.
Please allow me to offer a sincere compliment, my fair lady. Your beauty is as pure as a snow-white iris. Well, if it isn't my dear friend, glad to meet you again.
Who is this weirdo? Who is this knight?
I am Argenti, a member of the Knights of Beauty. I was invited as a part of the Kalevala delegation to escort the legendary Mieka Kivesa back to the Cienjo. May I have the honor of knowing your name?
My name is Yun Li.
What a beautiful name! I wonder if you have ever heard the holy name of the pure and flawless Goddess Adrilla.
Oh, you're here, Yun Li. Didn't expect you to be so well informed. Well, now that you're here, don't forget your manners.
Manners. Come on. You won't find another granddaughter as polite and well-behaved as me.
Well, just remember this is a very serious ceremony. Sorry for keeping you waiting, Mr. Pavo. Now, let the sword gifting ceremony begin.
Before the ceremony officially commences, I want to express my gratitude to the Knight Argenti. Thank you for enlightening us about the sword's origin and for escorting it here safely so that we may complete this ceremony. On behalf of the Kalevalan delegation, I, Pavel Kalistaya, am here to return the legendary Mieka Kivesa to the Cienjo Alliance, its rightful homeland.
I'm truly grateful for Kalevala's noble act of returning the sword and for the Knight of Beauty's chivalry. Now, as we gather here on the Cienjo Lawfu, I officially welcome the sword back to its homeland. Mieka Kivesa. It's a fitting name for a sword with such a legendary past. I still remember the name engraved on this sword the day it was forged. Gu Yin. It was forged by Han Guang, a craftsman from the Zhu Ming's Flame Wheel Forge.
Wait, Hongguang?
Although its blade is worn and cracked, its essence remains as resilient as the Cienjo Cloud Knights. All it needs is some repairs and polishing by the skilled craftsmen of the Artisanship Commission to regain its former glory. I've decided to entrust this sword, Gu Yin, to the Lawfu Artisanship Commission for restoration. Furthermore, it will serve as the prize for champion of the Lawfu War Dance. This sword will be wielded against abominations to protect our homeland and live up to the mission of the Kalevalan delegation that returned it from so far away.
Thank you, General. It is an honor for Kalevala.
Now, esteemed knight and delegation members, please head to the Artisanship Commission, where...
No! This sword was forged by Hongguang.
Yun Li! These esteemed guests have brought back your father's work. Where are your manners?
Oh, I didn't realize this sword was actually forged by your father. Returning it to its rightful owner is,
Grandpa, give me that cursed sword right now! I'll melt away the remnants of that man's curse once and for all!
Don't be rude, Yun Li. Apologize to our esteemed guests from afar.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making a scene. But I have to melt down this cursed sword. I won't let it fall into anyone else's hands.
Yunli, please, go for now. This is exactly why I didn't want Yunli to know about this. I didn't want to create trouble, but trouble found its way here anyway. Perhaps it really is divine intervention. Could you, please, keep an eye on Yunli for me? That is a tall order, but I'm counting on you. I apologize for the unfortunate interruption. Let us move on with the ceremony.
Stop watching me and say something. Did Grandpa send you to look for me? I bet he did. Just so you know, I'm here just waiting for the perfect moment to snatch that sword. And once I have it, I'll melt it down before anyone can react. Don't even think about stopping me. No one can stop me. You do have some skill. But now is not a good time to try to stop me. Have you heard of cursed swords? That sword is one. You've clearly heard a lot of folk tales. But that's not the kind of cursed sword I'm talking about. A cursed sword lets anyone, even a complete novice, wield it with insane skill. Just by holding the hilt, even the weakest rookie can brandish it with incredible speed and strength. I'm not joking around. And I'm not making up some crazy story. While a cursed sword grants instant abilities to its wielder, it comes at a cost. It's like continuously adding fuel to the forge. With each swing, the sword drains the wielder's blood and essence. Day by day, the fuel will run out, leaving nothing but an empty husk. Soon enough, he'll no longer be a person wielding a sword. but a mindless, killing machine, consumed by bloodlust and murderous thoughts. Oh, so you're familiar with Heliobi. That makes this much easier to explain. There was a lunatic swordsmith who infused metal blades with Heliobi, as he was obsessed with turning weapons into living things. And this is how cursed swords were made. I know, I shouldn't have caused a scene at the sword gifting ceremony. But I've thought this through. If I don't make a fuss now, that cursed sword will cause a whole lot more trouble. So it's better if it's me causing the trouble. By the way, aren't they supposed to be taking the sword to the Artisanship Commission for repairs? Why haven't they come out yet? Any ideas? Looks like they're not going to show up here. I'll just head straight to the Artisanship Commission. It doesn't matter why Grandpa chose that sword. I won't let it fall into anyone else's hands. I'll track down every single sword he forged and melt them down one after another. Just like I've been doing all these years. I have to go now. That was the last of them. Thank you for helping me out. This place is heavily guarded, but there's nothing but automatons. Where is the arsenal? Seems like not even those craftsmen know where the arsenal is. At this rate, we won't find anything. And Grandpa might take me away before I can do anything. You're not really here to help me. You're here to stop me, right? No. It's not. Grandpa made a promise to the delegation, and going back on his word would tarnish his reputation and make things difficult for the Lofu. But leaving that cursed sword here will also make things difficult for the Lofu. So all things considered, the best outcome is for me to melt that sword down and take all the blame. You probably think I'm being impulsive and unreasonable, right? No, really. Do I come across that way? Well, I guess I can't deny it. Seems like you've met a lot of people who don't tell you the whole story. Look. I owe you an explanation. But this isn't the best place to talk. We need to find somewhere else. Let me be clear, though. I'm still pretty riled up. This is just a temporary break. I already told you about Guyan. The sword that was returned during the ceremony. It's a cursed sword, with a heliobus inside. And Hongguang, the swordsmith who forged it, is my father. I rarely mention his name to anyone other than Grandpa. Maybe, like you said, I've been avoiding having to talk about him. But as long as my mission to hunt down cursed swords continues, it's impossible to avoid the topic forever. For some reason, I feel like I can open up to you. Honestly, I don't remember much about him. All I know is that the Flame Wheel Forge used to be a bustling place, with people from all over coming to get one of his swords. They called him the greatest master craftsman since Yingxing. I didn't catch all the details, but I do remember seeing him forge those amazing swords, while the visitors watched with smiles on their faces. I used to believe that craftsmen brought happiness to others. The swords crafted by the Flame Wheel Forge are famed across the stars. They possess exceptional sharpness and invincibility. With these legendary weapons, even ordinary people can become skilled warriors, capable of overcoming the most formidable opponents. But then, he became obsessed with becoming a famed swordsmith, and started crossing all sorts of lines. He forged cursed swords that should never exist. And all those people who desired those twisted swords started flooding into the palace. However, just like Grandpa said, those who excel with the sword will eventually suffer by it. The palace was overrun with visitors from afar. Some left empty-handed. Others got swords that didn't fulfill their desires. And some even resorted to stealing. And in the midst of all the chaos my father created, he ended up being stabbed by one of the swords he forged. It was so sudden and unexpected. Everything went silent for a moment. All I could hear was the sound of bones breaking and blood pouring out. I was frozen in place, unable to move. It was only when my mother pushed me away from the deadly swing of the cursed sword that I managed to escape. I don't remember much after that, except for the pounding of my heart and the sound of my own gasps of breath. I could hear the smith in the Flame Wheel Forge shouting, "Run away, Yunli!" and the screams of agony. My tears wouldn't stop, and I couldn't see anything. I kept gasping for air until I collapsed in a pool of blood. If General Huayan hadn't arrived in time, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you now. After that, General Huayan took me in and treated me like his own granddaughter. To me, he is 100 times better than my sinful father. He taught me forging and swordsmanship. Hangguang paid for his sins, but his troubled legacy must not go unchecked. According to the records, he forged a total of 1,382 Heliobus cursed swords, and 182 of them had unique designs. When I joined the Flame Wheel Forge for training, I made a vow to hunt down all those cursed swords. So far, I found 312 of them, and Guyan will be my 313th. Like all the other cursed swords, I'll separate it from the Heliobus. Then, I'll melt it down and make it part of the Blade of Forged Remnants. I've said my piece now. Even though it'll be tough for Grandpa, I still have to melt down the sword. So, you're saying, even though Grandpa knew it was a cursed sword, he still chose it to be a prize because he thought it wouldn't cause any trouble? No. No matter how I think about it, something is definitely off. Grandpa didn't tell me anything about the ceremony. He must be hiding something. Besides, after our argument today, you want me to go back and talk to him now? No way. At least not today. Maybe tomorrow. Somehow, after talking to you, I feel like I've cooled off a bit. Well, I'll have an honest conversation with Grandpa tomorrow. And I won't take any action against Gu Yun until he gives me his reasons. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that in a public place. Anyway, thank you. We'll catch up tomorrow.
My granddaughter didn't cause any trouble, did she, young man? Sorry for all this trouble. Yun Li told you quite a bit. Now it's time for this old man to tell my side of the story. Han Guang was my beloved disciple. A rare genius not seen in the Flame Wheel Forge since Yingxing. However, talent can sometimes be a curse. He had an unusual fervor for forging, and he dreamed of forging a sword with self-awareness that surpassed that of humans. He believed it would make warriors invincible without any training. According to him, while weapons of mass destruction like Ju-Ming flames and alchemical arrows can destroy many enemies, true victory lies with soldiers who fearlessly fight, ready to lay their lives on the line. Usually, Xianzhou swordsmiths infuse a basic level of awareness into their swords to make them easier to wield. But even then, soldiers need to experience countless battles to overcome fear and sharpen their instincts. So, by infusing Heliobi into swords, he managed to forge weapons that could grant their wielders strength and valor, and even make decisions for them. However, weapons are different from regular tools. They are meant to kill, plain and simple. After countless battles, all the anger, fear, and bloodlust are soaked up by the Heliobi within the swords. The soldiers wielding them not only gain strength, but they also become consumed by the malice, turning them into puppets possessed by the swords. No matter how noble Hongguan's intentions were, those weapons, soaked in blood, turned into cursed swords eventually. Later, Outworlders got wind of what he was doing and encouraged him to keep forging cursed swords. They came up with all sorts of reasons, from taking back their kingdoms to slaying demons. And you know what happened next. That massacre took her parents' lives, and the lives of many craftsmen in the Flame Wheel Forge. Yun Li managed to survive, but she couldn't escape the horrors of that day. Yes. I don't want her to spend her whole life trapped under her father's shadow. She doesn't deserve to carry the weight of his mistakes. Despite her vow to hunt down and wipe out all cursed swords, Fulfilling that vow requires immense effort. Traversing the starry seas in search of the swords is like finding a needle in a haystack. And to reclaim those swords, she has to duel the bloodthirsty wielders, teetering on the edge of life and death. She has taken back over 300 cursed swords, and has suffered the same number of fatal wounds. I took her in to give her a chance at a normal childhood, not to send her on a sword-hunting journey. Even if she manages to melt down all the cursed swords one day, what will she do with her life after? Gu Yin is indeed one of the cursed swords forged by Han Guang. Very few swordsmiths could use Heliobai as forging material, and Han Guang was one of them. His attempt came at a terrible cost. I thought this sword could be an opportunity. I wanted to tell her that her father wasn't all evil, that even the man she resents so much managed to forge a true sword of heroes. I also wanted to find a chance to tell her about the history and origin of this sword, but not during the ceremony. As you saw, it wasn't a good time. I've instructed the Artisanship Commission to keep the sword safe in the arsenal. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask the people involved. Since my granddaughter mentioned talking to me tomorrow, I'll be waiting for her. By the way, you watched over her for quite some time. You must be exhausted, aren't you? I'll be counting on you then.
All right, everyone is here. It's time for questioning.
Yun Li, I'm sure you understand why the official called you here, right?
Yeah? But I didn't steal the sword.
Now is not the time to use your reputation like that. If we don't recover the sword, we will be breaking our promise to the Lawfu and betraying the delegation. We're counting on you to find the truth, Official Dahao.
Yes. It's my duty to thoroughly investigate the case. Even though Yun Li is firm in her words, we can't just rely on her testimony.
After everything, the sword still got stolen. They should have given it to me from the beginning.
In this case of Gu Yun's theft, everyone involved seems suspicious to some extent. Miss Yun Li is the main suspect. First, during the sword gifting ceremony, Yun Li openly expressed her intention to steal the sword. She even mentioned it multiple times. After the ceremony, she broke into the Artisanship Commission and destroyed Arumatons in an attempt to get the sword. Am I right?
That's true.
The Realm Keeping Commission inspected the arsenal where Gu Yun was stored, and there were no signs of forced entry through the doors or windows. The only possible entrance or exit was a small window gap, just a few inches wide. Hey! It's just a theft. The box containing Gu Yun was opened and the sword went missing. But none of the other swords in the room were touched. Which means...
Well, I do know about the box and the cursed sword.
Exactly. The suspect had a clear motive and took only Gu Yun. So, besides the ceremony participants, Only the delegation members had access to the sword. In that case, why would they return it to the Xianzhou in the first place? That makes sense. The delegate... Argenti? You might not know. So, he wouldn't have gone through all that trouble to bring it to the loft. Master Gongshu checked the work record. So...
I can prove...
Put it simply, not everyone who's seen the sword has been to the Artisanship Commission, and not everyone who might want the sword has seen it. So, the only remaining suspect is Miss Yun Li. So...
I didn't steal the sword.
Well, when you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. If you want to prove me wrong, you'd better come up with some solid evidence.
I don't want to make things difficult for official Dahao. Let's do this his way, and prove my innocence. If I can find that cursed sword, I can prove my innocence right away. That's what I'm trying to figure out. There's something else, Bob. I mean...
Who could have thought that the Mieka Kivesa would be stolen? Regardless, we've... That's enough, young man. Now let me get something straight. The first master of the Mieka Kivesa slew countless demons, and then the monarchs would heed the guidance of the hero's spirits. Oh, of course. Point is that the Mieka Kivesa...
Yes, I received your message, but when I went back however, as the Master Artisan of the Artisanship Commission, I've got to clear... Wait, no. I just
Yun Li says she didn't steal the sword, and I am willing to believe her. But I know well that Yun Li can be impulsive, so if she did steal the sword on a whim, I won't show her any favors. You were with Yun Li yesterday, young man, so you have the chance to prove her innocence. Is there anything you need to ask me? After the ceremony, Argenti carried the sword case, and together with the delegation, they were escorted by the Cloud Knights to the Artisanship Commission. The artisan there confirmed that the sword was safely stored. No, she was still... I'm counting on you, then.
Why is this flower... so...
My thoughts are a mess. The sword case was never locked. But how did he manage to take the sword from the Artisanship Commission? Why did he steal it after returning it here? And why would he leave that petal in the case?
I know. Guyun flew out of the case on its own. The Night of Beauty only unlocked the box to aid its escape.
Don't be ridiculous. How can a sword escape from a case on its own?
You've never seen a flying sword before?
I've only heard about the Mieka Kivesa being able to fly in legends. But even if it could fly, why would the Night of Beauty do this?
Like I said, the sword contains a heliobus. Argenti must have been under the control of the sword.
Official Dahao, where can we find that knight?
Let me see. The docking location of Argenti's ship, the one and only.
Let's go. We've got to find Argenti before that sword completely takes over his mind.
I've been waiting for you here for quite a while.
Knight of Beauty. You're the one who stole Guyun, right? Hand it over. You have no idea how dangerous that cursed sword is.
Dangerous? In my humble opinion, the real danger is always the hand wielding the weapon. Yes, I did. As a Drilla's knight, I've sworn to live in poverty, and I abhor theft. I had to leave behind a rose petal in order to keep my promise to Master Guyun and uphold my knightly oath.
What? What do you mean?
I agreed to assist Master Guyun in its escape from the Xianzhou. As the person who pulled it from the stone monument, captivated by its beauty, I must not let it down. I couldn't stay in the arsenal to convince the craftsman, nor did I want to take the sword like a thief. That's why I left behind a small piece of evidence that pointed to my identity in the hope of an open and honest conversation with you.
Whatever your reasons are, you're planning to take the cursed sword away from the Xianzhou. Hand it over to me!
Back then, it was the beauty of Master Guyun that impressed me, so I willingly embarked on the journey to return the sword. But unfortunately, Master Guyun's homeland is no longer the ideal place for it to return to. As a Knight of Beauty, I must not abandon it halfway.
Oh no. He's completely captivated by the power of that cursed sword. The solution is right in your hand.
Captivated? No! I am touched by Master Guyun's flawless beauty. To be honest, I'm confused why none of you can understand this sword. This is quite heartrending. I've already made up my mind to take Master Guyun away from the Xianzhou.
That cursed sword has messed with your ability to think. But I'll break you free from its grip. I'll shatter its illusion. And the sword itself.
Fair lady, if you're intent on taking away this person, this sword that is under my protection, please engage me with a fair duel according to knightly etiquette. As a representative of this duel, I, Argenti, challenge you. I swear on the spirit of chivalry, in front of Adrilla the Beauty, that I will represent Master Guyun in this duel. If I win, you will allow Master Guyun to leave the Xianzhou with me. And if you best me, Miss Yuli, I'll accept my defeat and turn Master Guyun over to you. Do you accept my challenge, Miss Yunli?
Fine. Let's see whose desire is stronger. Your desire to take it away, or my desire to hunt down all cursed swords. Show me what you've got.
I've lost. According to the rules of a knight's duel, I should keep my promise and hand over the sword to you. But before I do that, I hope that you, as the winner, might have the mercy and listen to Master Guyun's past experiences.
This sword has been cursed since the day it was forged. Place it in front of me, and let me destroy it.
Do what she says, Knight.
But...
You've done so much for me already. It's time for me to face her alone. I'm weary of fighting. I just want to share my past with you. To explain why I wanted to escape. After that, I'll leave my destiny in your hands. Are you afraid to witness my past, little girl?
Well, you do have a different aura from other cursed swords. But you're just trying to use my curiosity to lure me in.
Well, you know best that a single touch won't snatch away anyone's sanity.
Fine. Show me your past.
It's so cold here. You're in
Quiet, and stay alert.
the people on this planet. Looks like we're stranded on this forsaken planet for the rest of our lives.
The rest of a Xianzhou native's life could be terribly long. Are you feeling any desperation?
Yeah, a bit. Perhaps.
When things get too rough for you to handle, just leave everything to me. No need to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Yeah, sure. If I really can't handle things anymore, I'll leave my body to you. But now is not that time.
Do you really think you can oppose an entire Borisan army with your limited skills? What are you—
It's true that I'm stranded here. But it seems like that Borisan pack is in the same boat. By the way, Guyan, do you know what a seed is? A seed may seem insignificant, but with careful cultivation and time, it can grow into a huge, unwavering tree. You said that the rest of a Xianzhou native's life could be terribly long. You're right. That's why I intend to plant a seed named Resistance here, and nurture it for the rest of my life. I want to show the people of this land how to defend themselves against those monsters. I can already see the seed in the eyes of those people.
You really think you can do it? Why not just give me control, and we can revel in the bloodbath together?
I'm alive.
They died. They died for you. They died because of your big promises. Promising them a life free from the Borisan. I tasted their despair before.
We can't stay here. Let's move on to the next village.
Why? What's the point? You and your sorry excuse for an army have been fighting for over 3 decades, and you haven't won a single battle. What you're sowing is not resistance, but despair. This world is hopeless. It's completely infested with packs of Borisan. You've seen their numbers, and you know their methods. And those commoners you've put your hopes in, they just kneel down and worship the monsters devouring their children and families, calling them their Beastmasters. You beheaded one of the Beastmasters for their sake, but they turned on you because they were scared of the Borisan taking revenge. You remember all that, right?
I do. I remember my first death. The Borisan cut off my head. But I also remember that if it weren't for a brave youngster who risked his neck to reattach my head and give me a proper burial, I would have disappeared completely. I remember everything the people did for me. They left food at the entrance of my cave, fixed my fur coat, and some even joined my resistance. The rest of the Xianzhou native's life is still terribly long, and there will be new youngsters who will stand beside me in battle. Time is on our side. I'm leaving.
Where are you going, Your Highness?
I'm returning to my homeland, a distant place beyond the sky. I'm not coming back.
But what should we do with you gone? What if those wolf demons show up again?
They won't. My child, you've wiped out the last of them. But before I go, I need you to do one thing for me. Even though the wolf demons are gone, new monsters will appear in this world. Soon, a demon will appear, donning golden branches and knowing only bloodshed. However, fear not, my children. I'm entrusting you with this sword that's been with me in countless battles. Use the skills I've taught you over the years, and you'll surely defeat that last demon. But that's not all. I need you to construct a stone monument for me. It must be large and sturdy enough to seal the remains of that demon forever. This is a debt you owe me, and you must fulfill it. Do you understand?
You lied to them. And you lied to me, too.
Oh?
You promised that you'd give your body to me when you couldn't handle things anymore.
Well, this Xianzhou native's life has finally come to an end, my old friend. How about one last chance for revenge? Come and bid me farewell for the final time. Thank you, my old friend. Heliobi can taste human emotions. How do my emotions taste, my old friend?
A hint of bitter compassion and a touch of scalding courage. Your heart's deepest desire is to end war once and for all. Now, the war is finally over. Can you hear? Even though you can't hear me anymore, my old friend, I'll do everything I can to bring an end to all conflicts in this world.
So, this is the past of the Kalevalan people's Sword of Heroes? You helped the people of that world bring an end to war?
No, I did not. I am a weapon, and I only became the cause of more conflicts. Countless monarchs of Kalevala saw me as a symbol of kingship endowed by nature, and they waged wars in order to possess me. I grew tired of their wicked intentions. I didn't want to kill for anyone anymore. So I returned to the stone monument where my master was buried. And since then, no one was able to remove me from it.
But you allowed Argenti to take you away?
Because even after all this time, I still wanted my master to come home. During the sword gifting ceremony, I felt anguish when I learned that I would be handed over to the most skilled swordmaster and once again become a tool for killing. My master had engraved his deepest desire into my blade. End war. As a weapon, my purpose was predetermined from the start. I had to become a deadly sword that would relentlessly hack and kill. But once I fulfilled my mission, would I have the right to choose my own destiny like he did? So, I asked the Knight of Beauty to help me break free from this never-ending cycle of bloodshed.
These thousands of years have naturally turned into memories of mine. I think I understand the beauty the knight was talking about now.
I don't want to be a sword that brings death. My war ended long ago. The years spent as a tombstone were my finest.
I've told you everything about my experience with Master Guyan on Kalevala. And now, I'm sure that Miss Yun Li is as moved by the sword's flawless beauty as I was back then.
Even though I had heard the legends of this sword from the delegation, delving into its memories was still fascinating. Yun Li, I trust Guyin's experiences have changed your mind.
That's why Grandpa hid it from me. So I wouldn't make a hasty decision. I always thought a cursed sword infused with a heliobus would only bring rage and slaughter. I never thought someone could leave behind the desire to end war, and even change the nature of the cursed sword. My position was too extreme. Guyan is truly a sword of heroes. I apologize to all of you for my behavior. I'm sorry.
Now that we've proven Miss Yun Li's innocence and found the sword, should we now return it to the arsenal?
No. I'm still going to melt down this sword. I've heard your true desires, Guyan. I can sense that you're tired of being a sword. Constantly serving new masters and fighting battles you no longer want to be part of. Right?
But being a sword is my destiny. I'm doomed to serve some master and fight battles endlessly. Can the wind choose to stop blowing? Can a cloud choose to stop drifting? No. It's the same for me. A creation with a predetermined destiny.
That's not true, Guyan. That nameless swordmaster shaped his own destiny. So you can too.
I just can't picture my destiny being anything other than that of a sword.
Do you remember when you stood alone in front of the swordmaster's stone monument? People admired you because you carried the memories of the hero. You were no longer a sword. You were a memorial.
Later, as I became worn and weathered, the gentle wind would pass through the hollows of my body, creating melodic tones that echoed in the distant mountains. I became a musical instrument then. I miss those times.
Can a creation become what it wants to be? The answer is yes. I'll grant your wish, Guyan, and transform you into something different.
Something different?
But this is the price for the war dance. If the Kalevalan delegation finds out... Please, say something, General Huayan.
Well, my granddaughter has always been stubborn. Are you really sure about this, Yun Li?
What do you all think?
Fulfilling Master Guyon's wishes is the reason I came to the Xianzhou. With Adrilla's blessing, you could turn Master Guyon into a plow. But as long as it fulfills his wish to end war, I support it fully.
Then, I'll leave it to you, Yunli.
It's been an honor getting to know you like this.
The honor is mine. Thank you, Yunli.
Why the long face, my child? Are you feeling regret, perhaps? You were completely determined when melting down the sword, so why the sudden change of heart?
Grandpa, I melted down the prize for the war dance. How are you going to explain this to the Lawfu?
Oh, am I hearing right? This little girl is worried about her grandpa. Didn't see that coming.
If only I'd talked to you from the beginning, Grandpa. Maybe things wouldn't have escalated like this. But at least Guyon got what it wanted. I have no regrets there.
When it comes to swords, you and your father are cut from the same cloth. So, are you planning to continue melting down the rest of Hongguang's swords?
Yeah. Guyon is unique. But the other cursed swords are still too dangerous for anyone to handle. But maybe I'll try to be more patient next time.
Be more patient. Well said. Remember what you learned today, because there will be many more situations in the future that will require you to be more patient.
Understood. But what about the prize?
Well, ever since you showed up at the ceremony, I had a hunch. So I prepared another sword as a backup plan. And don't worry, this one has nothing to do with Heliobi.
That's perfect.
By the way, the ambassador from Kalevala and that knight went to Arum Alley. They're looking for a spot to honor the hero. Why don't we go take a look together?
Oh, General Huayan. What brings you here?
Well, my granddaughter was inspired by the heroic legends told by the Mieka Kivesa, so she dragged me here to take a look.
I come from a long line of Kalevalan monument keepers. For generations, my family has guarded the stone monument left behind by the nameless hero. Over the centuries, a golden tree sprouted from under the monument, and its branches have never withered. We Kalevalans see it as proof of the hero's existence. Before leaving Kalevala, I took a branch from that golden tree, hoping to plant it here to represent the hero returning to his homeland.
That sounds good. We Xianzhou people don't make coffins or set up memorials, so I'm sure he would be happy to rest here where life is bustling.
The hero had asked our ancestors to carve something into the monument, so I made a copy of it too. While the inscription is pretty worn with age, perhaps you can still make out some of it.
I have drifted far from my homeland and am on the brink of death. Yet, I take solace in having honorably fulfilled my duties. Should you feel compassion for me, kind traveler, please take a handful of soil hence and bring it back to the Lawfu. Mr. Pavo, I wonder if that hero ever left a name in your history.
I apologize, but the hero's epic battles happened long ago, and he did not leave any name for us to call him. but in our mythology, he came from the heavens, and so we call him the Cloud Knight.
Welcome home, Cloud Knight.
Now, you can also rest here, Guyan.
Yo, it's you! You're interested in the supernatural, right? Lucky for you, I just finished editing my stream. It's all the proof you need. But before you watch it, I gotta ask you a question. Do you believe in ghosts? I knew it! Curious cats like us usually have a better sixth sense. It's easier for us to perceive the unseen. Enough chit-chat. Look, this is the weird stuff that happened yesterday when I was streaming in Fixtral Garden.
What's up, guys? Little Gwei here. We've come to the scariest, most haunted place in the Luofu, Fixtral Garden. Don't forget to like, follow, and share, or else I'm gonna chicken out. They say there's been paranormal activity. You're such a scaredy cat. You said you'd protect me. How do I stop something that's in my body? I think I just saw something moving.
And a group of flames suddenly grew super big! And then they floated right out to us and they were like, ah! And Sushong was like, eek! And then she fell over!
Miss Sushang, can you get up? Aren't you getting cold?
Ugh. Me and my bestie got kicked out of the garden straight after. But did you see the key moment? It's called editing. I edited it. That way I can show what happened before and after. Anyway, the key moment was... It wasn't the Realm Keeping Commission or the Cloud Knights that came to deal with it. It was the judges from the Ten Lords Commission. That's what I'm saying! At first, Sushang didn't believe that Fixtral Garden was haunted. But after the judges showed up... In other words, something big must have happened in Fixtral Garden for them to show up. Exactly! Now, do you believe that my content isn't clickbait? Actually, do you have some free time? Do you want to explore Fixtral Garden together? Just the two of us? I guarantee you we're gonna reveal the truth this time. I knew it! This is what people like us live for! Let's go! It's so dark in here. It feels like we're being watched. Did anyone ever tell you the scary stories about Fixtral Garden? Then allow me. As a streamer, I've done my fair share of research. Let me find my script. Wandering fox spirits and ghostly tales. Fixtral Garden was originally a garden delve constructed by a Foxian craftmaster. It was a place for their kin to rest, write poems, and feast, etc., etc. It said the elite pilots of the Foxians were almost wiped out in the Denizens of Abundance War 30 years ago. People went to the Foxum tomb in Fixtral Garden to grieve for the departed. Because of this, Fixtral Garden rarely saw visitors and was bereft of joy. Over time, Fixtral Garden became full of flickering, ghostly flames, and weeping lamentations echoed through the air. The rumor that the garden was haunted spread like wildfire among Xianzhou Luofu residents. I know, right? I did a lot of research before I decided to film here. I know it's easy to cast doubt, but the Ten Lords Commission actually showed up this time. Speaking of which, we have to avoid running into the judges. If we get kicked out, it'll all be for nothing. Anyway, that's the background. Let's keep moving, and watch your step. Halt! What's up, guys? Hear me out.
State your name and your business. Arrest them immediately.
At ease, Wraith Warden. These two are not your enemies.
Understood, Your Honor.
Look how pale she is. And it seems like her eyes aren't even focusing. Is she a ghost?
As a member of the Ten Lords Commission, you may as well consider me a member of the dead. I am a judge, alias Hanya. Of the 4 duties of detention, incarceration, interrogation, and punishment, I am responsible for interrogation. Therefore, I know a thing or two about you. Guinaifen, an outworlder unemployed. You entered Fixtral Garden with Sushang, a cloud knight, the day before yesterday.
Unemployed? I'm a street performer and a streamer who reports on current events. A streamer. It's a legit operation.
As for this one here...
A passenger in the Astral Express and a guest of the seat of Divine Foresight. You assisted the Cloud Knights in resolving the Ambrosial Arbor calamity and are a friend of the Alliance.
Hello. I'm a judge of the Ten Lords Commission. My name is Huahua.
As a judge of the Ten Lords Commission, you should speak with more confidence, Huahua.
Oh, okay.
Tell me, Guinaifen, why did you return here?
No reason. I haven't posted anything for ages, so I wanted to film some ghosts for my videos.
We have already told you that there are no ghosts in the Xianzhou. It is a ridiculous superstition. As a resident of the Xianzhou, you should refrain from believing or spreading rumors.
But I saw them! They had ghostly flames coming out of their body, and they were cackling. And Sushang saw them too!
Miss Guinaifen, it's hard to explain, but those things aren't ghosts. Please don't bring legends from your homeworld onto the Xianzhou. The roaming entities you saw are extremely dangerous energy parasites. We call them heliobi.
Really? I don't believe it. Heliobi? What's that? Oh, I get it. Heliobi is just another word for ghost on the Xianzhou, right? That's gotta be it.
Maybe we should let Mr. Tail out for a bit. Mr. Tail?
I heard you. Unbelievable. What am I, her pet?
Mr. Tail?
I'm a heliobus. We're not ghosts. Got it? Now scram!
What a strange girl. Here to film ghosts, yet terrified when she lays eyes on one.
Deep breaths, little Gray. Deep breaths. Can I have a small chat with this Mr. Tail?
I said scram! I have no time to talk nonsense with you! I told you I'm not a ghost! If I have to repeat myself again, I'll be eating every one of you!
Please, don't be afraid. He's only kidding. Mr. Tail is a vegetarian.
Your Honor, if I may ask, what exactly is this fire thing? How can we prevent it from hurting people? And why is a judge carrying one around with her?
I believe we're done here. We have important matters to attend to. Hua, please see them off.
Yes, ma'am.
Sister, don't be angry. Most of your time is spent in the field. You're not accustomed to dealing with others. Leave this to me. If I explain the reasoning, they will leave. As things stand, the situation in Fixstrol Garden is sure to keep drawing attention. If we forcibly dismiss these two today, their curiosity will remain. Who knows what might happen if they decide to come back. They might not be lucky enough to run into us next time. As I said, sister, I will handle this. I assume the two of you heard about the damage done to the Artisanship Commission's creation furnace? The Heliobi sealed within escaped, and have been haunting this place. The Ten Lords Commission has orders to capture them. I am strongly advising you to leave, for your own safety. If you have any questions, raise them now. I will do my best to satisfy your curiosity. But I hope you will keep any information you hear in strict confidence, and then leave Fixstrol Garden, never to return.
That's very reasonable, Your Honor. Thank you. I promise we'll leave after asking our questions.
As a clerk at the Hall of Karma, my knowledge on these matters is somewhat limited, but I will try my best to satisfy your curiosity. Please proceed. According to the Divination Commission's classification, they are energy parasites from the cosmos itself. They are starfire essence that materialize in the form of strange fire. Metaphorically speaking, they are like moths to a flame, but that flame is the thoughts of sentient beings. Yes, they attach themselves to sentient beings, feeding off their host's experiences and emotions. A heliobus will slowly take root in its host's nervous system, using their deepest desires and weaknesses to create wild delusions. They manipulate their host like a chess piece. The host has no choice but to obey the heliobus, so we refer to it as possession. By that point, the host is no longer who they once were, but a heliobus both similar to and completely different from their past self. The host's body will soon be exhausted by the heliobus, like burnt firewood.
Dangerous? Oh, you don't know the half of it. The other heliobi are nothing compared to me.
Tail was subdued and sealed in my tail by Madame Hanya. He won't harm others.
Regrettably, heliobi are not flesh and blood, and so they are difficult to destroy. Before the restoration of the creation furnace, the Ten Lords Commission plans to set up an evil binding matrix in this abandoned garden to imprison these abominations. As you can see, the evil binding matrix has not yet been completed, and not all the escaped heliobi have been recovered. This area is still very dangerous. I will ask Judge Huohuo to escort you out of the garden.
Not all the escaped heliobi have been recovered. So that means the other supernatural stuff that's been happening on the Luofu might be related? Your Honor, I have loads of info sources. Maybe I can help you.
Unnecessary. Those not involved should leave now. Go.
Excuse me. We should go. Excuse me. Can we go now? I'm just a bit scared about the heliobi reports. But I'll carry out my duties and escort you out of the garden. I should be able to do that at least.
If you can't, then you better give up the day job and start peddling desserts.
If it weren't for you, I would have opened a dessert stall ages ago. Shall we go? Let's go.
It's a ghost!
What's happening? Tail,
It's nothing, you scaredy cat. I didn't see a single thing.
Wait a minute. Where did Miss Gwaynifin go? Miss Gwaynifin! Did we lose her?
Ghosts, heliobi, possession? That was a big info dump. My brain is still loading. Oh, it all sounds more like an urban myth than a ghost story. Energy parasite sounds more cool than scary, don't you think? I never thought about it like that. Nice take. My audience likes getting to the bottom of mysteries, secrets, and conspiracies. We streamers have to cater to that, you know? I've got loads more questions, but my curiosity is satisfied for now. We better leave before the judges decide to arrest us. I'm gonna see if I can get a video of Mr. Tail on the way back. I've already got the title. Demonic fire suddenly appears in Fixtral Garden. Innocent Foxian girl possessed. What do you think? That gets so many views. Can you give me a hand? That's a yes, right? Let's go.
Gwaynifin, where are you? Huohuo, stay close. Huohuo? Oh no, where did she go?
Is this a mirror? It looks a little creepy. Hi.
Let me see. The one who defeated Fantasia. I wonder what they taste like. You fought well. You were fighting for your survival, after all. I'll take that as my invitation to inhabit you for a while. Resisting, are we? Impressive willpower. How painful. How delectable. You're different from anyone else I've ever possessed. But what is this at your core? A sun? It burns. Worry not. I have no interest in making you my home. I'll be gone before you know it. Let's get along while it lasts, shall we? You can call me Cirrus. I only want to leave this place. I have no desire to harm you. Allow me to explain what's happening. The Xianzhou natives call it a ghost lock. You're walking in a circle, and no amount of walking will get you out of it. So, I'm going to help. What a stubborn as a Curtis now. Go and look at those talismans.
Are you in the mirror? I finally found you.
Madam Shui?
Fixtral Garden has been enveloped by an unknown power. You must be careful.
We still haven't found Miss Gwaynifin. I don't know where she went.
The task at hand is to save you from this illusion. Come, pass through the mirror and come to our side.
Where am I? Is this Fixtral Garden? But it looks different somehow. I should keep moving.
You have a strange scent on you. You must be... I've heard the whispers of the leaves that fall in Fixtral Garden. The flames weep and profess to me that a powerful mortal approaches. They carry the scent of a great battle, with none other than Fantasia. You are the one who drove Fantasia away. What power! Your presence alone is delicious enough to make one tremble. Let me taste you, please. One bite, just one bite. I can't wait to savor you. It's you. I finally found another living soul. I'm so happy. I thought I was gonna be stuck here forever. I'm so happy to see you. Have you seen Miss Gwaynifin? I still haven't found her. Is she gonna be okay?
Give it up. Gwaynifin was probably eaten.
How can... Why don't you take a... You can find the way out, right?
Not this again!
You know I'm not cut out to be a judge. I thought maybe if I worked long enough in the Ten Lords Commission, I'd get braver. But now, I know it's impossible.
Useless brat. Why was I sealed in with someone like you?
You talk tough all day long, then let both of us get stuck in a trap. Who's the useless brat now?
There's no point in following me.
No! Please don't leave! Wait. Beast? From a taxonomic perspective, I believe you're closer to that definition.
The Ten Lords Commission needs to overhaul their hiring criteria. How did someone as useless as you ever...
Hey, cut it out! I'm the only one around here who gets to tell this kid off. Wait! Hold on. I smell something familiar. Sirius, it's you. Still a fan of your pathetic ventriloquist act, I see.
Oh, this is funny. This is just too funny. I thought you'd already escaped the furnace's destiny of torture. Who would have thought that a piece of Ignomar the Great, the fragment with the most fight in it, would become a guard dog sealed inside a crybaby? Oh, forgive me. Did I say guard dog? No, that won't do. You're just a guard dog's tail, right? Just a tail, a tail, a tail.
Laugh while you can, coward. I'm gonna swallow you whole the second you leave that boy's body.
Terrifying. The joke's on you. You couldn't leave that judge's body if you tried. You can't eat her, let alone escape from her. Mr. Tail. You're pathetic.
Darn it! Think of something, you wimp!
Mr. Trailblazer, take this talisman and stick it to your body. It'll temporarily suppress the Heliobus's influence.
Hey, boy! Say something nice to Wawa. Her crying is like a mosquito in my ear.
Stop. Do you remember our deal? You need to help me evade capture. Ugh. Is this what humans call sympathy? How acerbic. Yuck. Forget about the judge. Just get us both out of here. Wait! Please don't leave me! Please, I'm begging you. Can you please come closer? I'm so scared. Have you seen Miss Gwayniphin? I still haven't found her. Is she gonna be okay?
Give it up. Gwen.
You know I'm not. You talk tough. Oh.
There's no point.
No! No! Please don't leave. It's not your fault. It was that bad Heliobus making us fight. Someone as nice as you wouldn't say such mean things. Only a possession would make you act like that. Still, what the Heliobus said was true. I've always been shy and scared. My life's been a nightmare ever since Tail possessed me. When I was at school, people were always asking why my tail was on fire. Everywhere I went, people would notice.
Oh, so it's all my fault. If you'd just let me devour you at the start, I could have spared you the trouble.
Then I got into the Ten Lords Commission. Everyone there is weird, so I thought I'd found somewhere I belong. But the job is too dangerous. I have to fight demons and ghosts and bad guys every day. I'm just not cut out for it. If I make it back alive, I'm handing in my resignation. Who helped.
You hear that? Stop crying! You're useful! And your paper dolls are useful too! I've had enough of this! As soon as I swallow that coward Cirrus, I'm gonna devour this little crybaby too!
What a pity that Mr. Tail is nothing like he used to be. If we still had our old power, we could forget about this maze and devour its creator, Furynox. Your old power? Well, Mr. Tail, seems she knows nothing about your past. Little Missy, do you know why the Heliobi are gathered in this abandoned garden instead of seizing human habitations? Team building? Ugh. Because over 1,000 years ago, this very garden was the site of an epic battle between the general of the Luofu and the great Heliobus Ignimar. Now that the furnace is broken and the Heliobi have escaped, fragments like us, who once constituted Ignimar the Whole, have returned here with a desire to challenge the general again. The battle between the general and Ignimar was an earth-shaking contest of devastating proportions. Ignimar underwent countless transformations, causing floods, fires, and thunderous landslides. They were locked in a standoff. An evenly matched fight. Evenly matched? Really? The general who fought for the Luofu against the Heliobus was named Teng Xiao. The Ten Lords Commission records say that Ignimar was soundly defeated by General Teng Xiao. Of course the human records would flatter their general. The great Ignimar absorbed the power of countless fellow Heliobi, but ultimately underestimated human deceit. They were narrowly defeated by the general. We Heliobi could never condense into physical form after that battle. We scattered into fragments and were sealed into the creation furnace. But there's an exception to everything. Mr. Tail, I thought you'd escaped to freedom. Who could have guessed you'd be sealed in this tiny Foxian girl? Humiliating.
Sealed my foot? My power was weak when I ran into this fox child. It was bad luck, nothing more.
When I was littler, I saw a ball of fire that looked like it was about to turn to embers. I felt sorry for it, so I picked it up and put it on my tail. And then, Mr. Tail tried to eat me! If the judges hadn't arrived, it would have been over!
I did no such thing! You're barely big enough to be an appetizer!
All the pain I've suffered since I met you must be retribution for my stupidity back then! Hilarious! It's a pity Mr. Tail didn't devour you. He might have recovered his power and turned the Xianzhou upside down, just like Ignimar did.
Yes. Yeah, Burger King? Give me a double bacon cheeseburger meal. Okay. Bye. Honey.
Grudge? How shallow. If you must know the forces behind our actions, there's a pinch of envy. Envy towards the potent emotions you corporeal beings have. Then there's a dash of aggression. The desire to see whether the Heliobi or bodies of flesh and blood are stronger. Lastly, There's a drizzle of desire. We desire to possess your physical bodies, so we can eat, kill, love, and hate. We Heliobi were carefree life forms, but were tainted with the illness of humanity once we came into contact with it. It's humanity's fault for having such intense emotions and desires. Now we can never return to the purity of our past. I want to be free again. I want to return to the cosmos. Mr. Tail, you don't want to regroup with the fragments? You don't want to be her tail forever? Why don't you return with me to the great beyond?
Don't get ahead of yourself, Cirrus.
That's impossible. Mr. Tail was sealed by the judges of the Ten Lords Commission. He can't escape, and neither can you. Are we above Fixstral Garden?
So many bronze mirrors. Could it be that...
You're right, boy. This place is changing. It's trying to stop us from escaping.
But one of these mirrors must contain the exit, right? Let's check them all.
I didn't think you'd be able to. All these...
Hurry, Huohua. This should be the last mirror.
I don't want to go back the way we came, but I need to ask some questions about myself to make sure.
Everyone is different. A judge, it is the decree of the Ten Lords for...
Just what do those old...
Let's go! This is... I'm not the best judge of things, but these mirrors...
Not...
None of them show Madame Shui as I know to be.
That puppet judge never respected me. But she also never let her guard down.
I've spent a long time working with Madame Shui. She's always known that I'm scared and timid, but she never told me off.
The Ten Lords Commission never cared a wink about your frail constitution. You're the only one who makes a big deal about it. And as long as you don't drag me down, I don't really care how much of a coward you are either.
Aw, Tail?
Hey! Get away from me! What do you know? And what are we even talking about? We need to focus!
The illusion wants to keep us in, but it can't possibly keep expanding its borders forever. I think there's gotta be a fourth mirror somewhere. Are we back in Fixstral Garden?
You have returned safely. It seems the Ten Lords Commission is not down on our luck today.
Madame Shui, I'm so happy to see you're all right!
Did you encounter anything strange on your way here?
No wonder she's a judge. Very perceptive.
I understand. This isn't the time to deal with Cirrus. Fixstral Garden has been dragged into a powerful illusion by an even mightier Heliobus, and the Spiritfarers who went to suppress it have lost contact with me. Huohua, if both Hanya and I are unable to suppress that demon, then you will have to defeat it.
I won't be able to do it. I'm not as powerful as you two. I always run and hide before a battle.
Do not underestimate yourself. A Heliobus cannot possess a body that is already possessed by another Heliobus. Such is your absolute advantage as a judge. Correct. However, Huohu has had many more years of training and is more experienced in fighting Heliobi than you. That is why the Ten Lords Commission is not down on our luck today. We're lucky that you have all returned at this opportune time.
You hear that, scaredy cat? You're the ace of the Ten Lords Commission!
The Heliobi are aggressive beings, but they cannot shake their desire for a flesh and blood body. And yet, during the 38 years you have worked for the Ten Lords, you have been constantly able to suppress the monster within your tail and maintain your personality. You are already a fitting judge. Be confident. On that point, none of the other judges can surpass you.
Suppress the monster? Oh, but I don't think I've ever had to suppress Tail. I guess we're more like friends?
Friends? Bah! I don't make friends with food.
Mr. Tail, puny fragments like us were deprived of Ignimar's power long ago. If a little girl can subdue us, then perhaps it's time for some humility.
Shut your trap!
Though Fury Nox is powerful, we have a chance of suppressing them if we can break them into multiple fragments.
You have a sound plan, Your Honor. And since the stage is set, allow me to offer my assistance. Let's find somewhere more open first. Like Swallow Song Pavilion, over there.
Let's go.
You've heard the story of Ignimar and the great Heliobus's glorious fight against the General. They were an entity born of many Heliobi fusing together. But Heliobi are gradually tainted by the emotions and desires of those we possess. We tend to spite each other and don't like to fuse together. It's like having multiple personalities inside a single head. It leads to infighting. A powerful Heliobus like Ignimar or Fury Nox might be able to swallow a lesser Heliobus and placate them for a while. But this internal balance is easily broken when exposed to external forces. Just like how we were torn apart and reborn after Ignimar fought the General.
Therefore, this might be the way to defeat Fury Nox. We can cause them to break apart and reduce their power. Then, the Ten Lords Commission can use their sacred vessels to seal up all of Fury Nox's fragments. I have a question. Why are you betraying your own kin? Why would you help the Xianzhou when we have sealed you for so long?
Why? Must Heliobi always have a reason for their behavior? Perhaps I don't want Fury Nox to devour me. Perhaps I dislike idiots who use force and nothing else. Perhaps I wish to fight the General myself. Or maybe I just want to do a favor for the Ten Lords Commission that will ensure I can leave here in one piece.
Judges of the Ten Lords Commission always keep our promises. If you can truly deal with the problem at hand, I will ask for your freedom from the Ten Lords. However, I cannot guarantee the outcome of the appeal.
How conventional. Fine, I accept. But you better keep your promise, puppet. Me and Fury Nox were furnace mates. I know them well. They are powerful, but as naive as a child, and obsessed with victory. I only need to say 3 things to incite them. Hey, I'll need your body for a while longer.
Fury Nox! Fury Nox! Before you duel the General, why don't you fight me?
Serious? What makes you worth my time, weakling? I've turned this garden into my territory and made the dogs of the Ten Lords my puppets. As soon soon as the General arrives, the Heliobi will have a rematch. Why should I fight my own at this crucial moment?
That group of amateurs you put together? Ha! They're nothing compared to me. I have already obtained the most wonderful pawn for myself. A piece that once expelled Fantilia.
Fantilia? Fantilia! I remember. What a wonderful host. I want it.
Then send the Spiritfarers under your control to find me. If you can defeat this Nameless I'm possessing, then you can swallow me up and let my strength aid you in your fight against the General. What do you say?
Deal. My pawns and I will show you no mercy!
See? Easy peasy.
Does that mean all the Spiritfarers out there have fallen? What a useless army.
Does that mean we'll be fighting our friends?
Oh, do puppets feel empathy? Or do you not wish to defeat Furynox anymore? We Heliobi think of such matters as business transactions. As long as something can bring us victory, we will destroy everything. Even allies and kin. Make the decision. Furynox's pawns, your companions, must be destroyed.
Please come over here. I need to give you something. You two, take this before we fight Furynox. This is the Lunambra Gourd, a sacred vessel made by the Artisanship Commission. The Ten Lords Commission has made some changes to it to better suppress the Heliobi. After you fight the puppets controlled by Furynox, make sure you seal their Heliobi fragments in here. Also, her time as a judge has been brave. She is still inexperienced. Apart from that, please also have mercy on the Spiritfarers that have fallen under Furynox's control.
Mr. Tail, we're gonna fight some really dangerous enemies now. Please, lend me your strength too.
Ho ho! Sounds like someone finally learned to talk tough. I would have believed you if your legs weren't shaking so much.
Don't point that out! It took me a lot of effort to be this brave. All this time I've just been hiding behind Mr. Trailblazer. I'm such a bad judge. Madame Shui said those possessed by a Heliobus can't get possessed again. I'm the only person who can help everyone.
Exactly! You're welcome, by the way. So, what are we waiting for? Let's go!
Hua. Though I am of Ingenium body, I too am feeling a sliver of fear.
Madame Shui, you're afraid too?
Faced with a demon that can manipulate life at will, of course I'm afraid. Afraid that I won't ever work with my sister again.
So we'll need to activate the evil binding matrix, right?
Once my task is done, I will meet you at the Verdantia Terrace and activate the evil binding matrix at its matrix core.
Okay.
Trailblazer! Hua, I'm so glad you're okay.
I have defeated all the Spiritfarers controlled by Furynox. It was quite troublesome taking them down without doing any harm. How goes your task?
We're doing well. We've sealed most of Furynox's fragments.
Now, we shall seal the fragments absorbed by the Lunambra Gourd into the evil binding matrix. Once Furynox's power has been stripped, it will no longer be able to influence reality in Fixtral Garden.
This gourd is so pretty! Is this what they call a sacred vessel on the Xianzhou?
be careful. You might feel dizzy if you get too close to the Matrix.
It's okay, it's okay. This is my first time seeing the Ten Lords Commission's exercising tools up close.
Hua Hua! Get her away from here!
Cirrus. It's Cirrus. You won. You won. Don't leave us. Help us. Take us to restore Ignimar's glory together.
Thank you, Your Honors, for helping me clear so many obstacles and collect so many Heliobus fragments. I told you I'd leave your body, little pawn. Excellent. I will keep my promise. They're stealing the power of other Heliobi! With this strength, I will be undefeatable! Let's go again, shall we?
This demon is quite troublesome.
Is everyone okay?
They've consumed too many Heliobi. We'd die from exhaustion before we manage to weaken it.
We've still got a chance, puppet. Cirrus said it themselves. There's a fragile balance when Heliobi fuse together. You know what to do, don't you, Wawa? But what? Aren't you gonna be living the life you've always wanted once I'm gone?
These pawns are no fun. Why don't you join in too, huh? I struggle. Be my subject!
If you can't win, you just cheat!
Useless! Get yourself together!
Just won't die! We can't beat them!
Not so fast! You got me, haven't you? See you on the other side.
You wretch! What are you doing? Get out! Get out!
Little Gwei kinda gave me an outline of what happened in the apothecary. Can you tell me more? Thanks for telling me everything. I didn't think things would get so out of hand. I would have been able to help you if I were there too, and maybe little Gwei wouldn't have ended up in the apothecary. Oh, you don't need to worry about little Gwei. She won't be able to sit still even in a sick ward. I'm sure she'll come find you again in no time. I'm heading to the apothecary to check up on her. Catch you later.
General.
Seriously? When is this war dance going to start? The Sky Splitter has been hovering there for ages. When can we board and see what's inside?
Is this how long my species live? Everything proceeds so slowly. The effectiveness of anticipation in my emotional center is at an all-time high. Oh, I need to drink some coolant.
Relax. The Realm Keeping Commission will send boarding notices to all ticket holders. The Gazette said the Sky Splitter will fire a salute before the ceremony starts.
I saw the schedule for the first day of the tournament. Can you believe the Ringmaster accepted 4 challenges? And he's just a kid. So, who are you betting on, Bardo?
I'm betting on neither. I lost all my credits betting on Roboball games in Taikian. This time, I've decided not to rely on probability games to accomplish my target of getting rich.
War dance. Here you are. I heard you and Mr. Dan Heng went to meet the judges, and then a riot broke out in the shackling prison. I was so worried about you. Thank goodness you both made it out safe.
There was a revolt in the shackling prison. Fortunately, we were protected by the guards until the Cloud Knights arrived to rescue us.
I was planning to take Miss March and Yun Li to Stargazer Navalia to see the Sky Splitter up close, but we stumbled upon a group of suspicious Foxians carrying official identities. They were acting strange, so out of curiosity, we decided to follow them. It turns out they were actually Borisin disguised as Foxians.
Oh, boy.
It seems they infiltrated Stargazer Navalia in order to prepare for Hule's escape. And we fooled their plans by pure chance. I wonder who provided them with those disguises, and how many more Borisin have taken advantage of the war dance to infiltrate the ship. Yeah, I heard them too. But I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint them. I've already reported to General Jing Yuan that I'll give up my role as the Ringmaster. The security of the Luofu is more important to me than anything else. I need to fulfill my duties as a Cloud Knight Lieutenant before taking on the honor of being a Ringmaster. Those tourists just want to see some good sword fights. Anyone can participate in this kind of tournament. Doesn't have to be me. The real challenge lies beyond the ring on the Sky Splitter. If we don't capture the fugitives soon, Hule will wreak havoc. Obviously, there's someone behind the scenes orchestrating this prison break, intending to spread chaos. If we fail to thwart their evil plan, what honor will be left for us to uphold?
Well said.
You may be tiny in stature, but your ambition matches that of the Yao Qing's warriors.
Hey, this has nothing to do with my height.
Yes, I suggested to Yanqing that we find a place to have a decent meal. A hunter must be well fed before the hunt.
You still have a good appetite, even in the face of disaster. You truly are the Merlin's Claw. Please finish the food quickly so we can get to work, General Fei Xiao.
Well, that's not up to me. Dig in. I called you here so you could enjoy the food.
Me? This isn't the time for a leisurely meal, and this is way too much for me.
Oh. You'd give me time to enjoy a meal, but not yourself? Ever since you encountered those Borisin spies, you've been so busy that you've hardly eaten anything. You can't defeat Hule on an empty stomach. Take your time. Enjoy the meal and calm yourself.
Hule's whereabouts are still unknown, and they've even taken Mr. Zhao Cho hostage. The longer we wait, the more complicated the situation becomes.
Zhao Cho always said I'm the most impatient person among the Cloud Knights, and I can't argue with that. So, there's no reason for you to be more anxious than me. I've fought against Borisin abominations for years, and I know their ferocity and cunning well. The Borisin were clearly well prepared for the prison break, and now they are staying in the shadows. They have no reason to rush out into the open. When facing cunning and ferocious prey, the hunter must be more patient, biding their time to seize the golden chance for a decisive blow. Once Hule loses his patience and reveals himself, that's when we'll strike.
But when will that time come?
Like I said, it's only one meal away.
General Hua Yan, the Skyfaring Commission has finished its preparations. Do you have any other instructions?
Representing the consensus between the Merlin's Claw and the Divine Foresight, I'll step in as the temporary commanding officer of the seat of Divine Foresight and oversee the Six Commission's affairs on the Luofu.
What is the situation at the Shackling prison?
Hule made a quick escape and even sealed the gates of the prison. As of now, the Cloud Knights have re-established contact with the staff inside. The good news is the two Nameless who were trapped in the Shackling prison are safe and sound.
I know I shouldn't use the word great given the current situation, but I'm relieved that he and Don Hung are safe.
We've lost contact with one of the messengers from the Xianzhou Yaoqing. The Borisin have likely taken him hostage. Don't worry, Yukong. Fei Xiao is leading the wolf hunt operation, and you know how capable she is.
I have no doubt about General Fei Xiao's capabilities, General Hua Yan.
Hello?
I'm more concerned about the wardens.
Okay, I'm coming.
According to the plan, the ceremony will begin in 6 hours. The Sky Splitter will be activated, and all visitors will board the ship to watch the contest. But now, with Hule's whereabouts unknown, everything is filled with uncertainty.
Alright, y'all. Down, Joe. Thanks for watching. Come on, the next.